Hi, I'm Will Galbraith. I'm a part of the Ray White South Coast Group, and this is your South Coast Snapshot for week 13, 2024. The snapshot is designed to give you a bite-sized breakdown of the real estate market overall, including local, regional and city-based information across Australia. All information is sourced from the AFR, leading economist on X, and the Sydney Morning Herald. All information is relevant to buyers, property owners or both. New property listings increased in February across the combined capitals, with all capitals bar Adelaide experiencing the second successive monthly increase in listings. The latest domain data shows new listings are at a record highs in Canberra, at a 6-month high in Darwin, and a near 2-year high in Melbourne and Sydney. Domain Chief of Research and Economics Dr. Nicola Powell says the new listings data shows a level of confidence is returning to the property market. It's been quite a strong start to the year for listings, she says. So there is more choice for those on the hunt for a home. The shortfall in purpose-built student accommodation could hit 7,000 beds annually over the next 5 years, as high costs hold back the construction of new facilities, just as demand surges, research shows. The pipeline of new student accommodation has fallen sharply despite strong tailwinds for the sector from the return of international students, rising residential rents and an undersupply of housing in the broader market. According to JLL, demand for student housing has soared with a full recovery in the international student numbers last year, which now exceed the previous 2019 peak by 4%, according to JLL research. The resurgence was fueled mainly by China and India, but there has also been exceptional growth in student numbers from the Philippines, which are up 107%, Colombia 94% and Pakistan by 54%. A sharper than expected fall in inflation could lead the RBA to deliver interest rate cuts sooner than expected as the central bank shifts to a more neutral stance on the outlook for monetary policy. Announcing the cash rate had been left on hold at 4.35%, RBA Governor Michelle Bullock said data suggested the central bank was on the right track in its battle against inflation, but stressed the outlook for the cash rate remained uncertain. In a shift that economists widely reviewed as dovish, the RBA board's post-meeting statement pivoted toward a more neutral policy stance, saying the board is not ruling anything in or out on the next rate move. In February, the RBA board said a further increase in interest rates couldn't be ruled out. Fast-tracking visas for migrant construction workers and greater investment on infrastructure delivery would boost the supply of new homes and address the deepening house crisis, say leading developers and civil engineers. Developers also called for an overhaul of state and territory planning systems to lift housing starts, after an Urban Development Institute of Australia report forecast housing completions to hit a decade low of just 79,000 dwellings by Lend-Lease Australia CEO Dale Connor, backed the fast-tracking of visas for tradies. Market capacity and labour scarcity are major cost drivers impacting both the delivery of new housing and major infrastructure. So, targeted skilled migration would help ease the labour pressures the industry is experiencing, he said. Home buyers in a cluster of sought-after inner Sydney suburbs are paying more than $20,000 for only 1 square metre of land. Buyers in Paddington, Darlinghurst, Surrey Hill and Woollahra are snapping up smaller homes and terraces to live close to amenities and the CBD. But buyers searching for the most bang for their buck in terms of land size would look to the Blue Mountains, about 70-kilometre drive west of the CBD, where land changes hands for less than $1,000 per square metre. The median price paid per square metre in Sydney overall was $2,590 last year, but in the most expensive suburb of Paddington, buyers shelled out $27,440 for the same amount of space. Domain's Price per Square Metre report 2024, released on Thursday, found. Home borrowers are cutting back on discretionary spending and switching to cheaper items to deal with the cost of living pressures and to prioritise paying their mortgages. Just 1% of homeowners had fallen at least 3 months behind on their mortgage repayments as they adjusted to the higher living costs and debt repayments. The RBA said about 5% of borrowers on owner-occupied variable rate loans were spending more than they had earned to cover higher expenses and mortgage repayments. Looking to make the best use of the current market or considering your financial options. If you're either expanding your property portfolio, refinancing or looking to sell your current property, get in touch today, we'd love to help. I'm Wal Galbraith with the Ray White South Coast Group, and that was your South Coast Snapshot for week 13, 2024. See you next week. Be well.